Welcome to Lesson 4 of Voicetown. In this lesson, I'm going to present 4 new sounds: a, f, and v. My objectives for today are to first review the sounds that we've learned so far. It's really important to review the map first before you get started on the new sounds. So we'll start with the sounds from O Street, the long vowels A, E, I, O, and U, and the sounds N, D, T, S, Z, H, I, O, and K. I hope you're able to say them automatically and accurately by now. As you can see, I've listed the 4 new sounds on the map. Starting on the left-hand side, we have the 2 sounds F and V. Your mouth remains in the same position when you say them. The F or the F sound on the left side of S Street is a non-voiced sound, and the V sound for V is a voiced sound. And to the right, we have the short vowel A. So we have the capital A sound and as well as an A sound for the small a. And then we have the sound for R. This one can be very difficult to make because many of you roll your R's and the mouth position is different. So I really want you to concentrate on that sound and try to make it accurately as we go through the lesson. Now we're going to review the sounds without the map, which is a little more difficult. Ah, aw, o, oo, b, p, n, d, t, k, h, s, z, a, E, I, O, U, I. And now for the second row. U, I, E, I, A, O, S, A, B, A, P, Z, K, N, O, D, I, T, E. Row 3. N, S, E, I, O, A, A, O, O, P, U, D, T, Z, H, U, I, O, A, B. And the last row. S, Z, N, D, T, A, O, U, B, P, A, E, I, O, U, I, O, H, and K. The first new sound we're going to work with in this lesson is A. And it's really important to remember that in the English language, we give our vowels, when they're a capital letter and a small letter, different sounds. The capital letter A sounds like A in Voicetown, And the small letter A sounds like ah in Voicetown. For the sound ah, to make it, you open your mouth slightly. Place the tip of the tongue at the back of the bottom teeth. Round the tongue towards the back of the mouth and blow the air out as you drop your lower jaw slightly. Ah, ah, ah. This sound can be difficult to make, and sometimes I call it the ugly American A. Many of you say ah when you see a small a, and we say ah. So sometimes I exaggerate and I'll wrinkle my nose to make sure that you're saying the correct sound. Ah, ah, ah. You're going to open your mouth as you make the sound. The tip of your tongue is touching the back of your bottom teeth, and the tongue kind of rounds up and forward as you push that sound out. Ah. From ah, you'll notice that your tongue comes up and forward to ah. Ah, 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 ah. For many of you, in your language, when you see a small a, you pronounce it ah. So just be very careful as you're reading the Voicetown words that when you see a small a, you say ah. Practicing the ah sound. I have words listed on the left in English and on the right in Voicetown. They always sound the same, but they may be spelled differently. Has, has, apple, apple, app, app, sap, sap, lamp, lamp, pal, pal, attitude. And you'll notice here I have it spelled two ways. Many times in the English language, we don't say a sharp t sound for the T. So instead of saying attitude, we say attitude, attitude. The next sound that we're going to work with is This can be very difficult for people when you roll your R's, so make sure that you practice this one over and over again. Your lips go forward as you say In order to make the sound, you round your lips forward, similar to the oo sound. Drop the tongue so it is not touching your lower teeth, and round it up slightly in the back and blow out. Er, er, er. Many of you roll your R's when you say them, so it's very important for you to get your lips moving forward for the sound. You'll notice that when I make that sound, my lips come forward similar to the oo sound, but not quite as much. Er, er, er. Your tongue is not touching the back of your teeth and it drops down as you make that sound. Er, er, er. This can be difficult for you to make because many of you in your first language roll your R's and your mouth comes back more as a smile instead of coming forward to make the English sound. Er, er, er. These words are spelled the same in Voicetown and English. The capital R is used so there is no mistake that you are wanting to use the sound, especially when you are writing by hand. Rat, rim, rot, ream, ram, ran, rip, raw, rid, rod. Now I'm going to say them again, and I want you to make sure that your lips are coming forward and you are not rolling your R. This is going to take a lot of practice for many of you. Rat, rim, rot, ream, ram, ran, rip, raw, rid, and rod. Here are some words to practice the sound. Rake, rake, right, right. You'll notice there are two different spellings in English, and the words have different meanings, but they both sound the same, as they are written right in Voicetown. Room, room, roam, roam. Again, two different spellings, two different words and meanings, but they both sound the same. Rail, rail, meter, meter. We don't give it a sharp t sound as in meter, we say meter. Scissors, scissors. Sister, sister. After, after. Now this one can be difficult because we have the small a at the beginning, which sounds like ah. Many of you say ah, so think about it and say after, after. The third sound we're going to work with in Lesson 4 is represented by the letter F, which is on the left side of S Street on the map. And the sound is for the sound. To make it, you place your top teeth slightly on the bottom lip. Drop your tongue in the bottom of your mouth. The tip touches the back of your bottom teeth. Blow the air out over your tongue and across your lower lip. This is a voiceless sound and comes from the front of your mouth. Your throat will not vibrate. When you make that sound, your mouth is open slightly, your teeth come and touch your bottom lip, and you're going to force the air out over your tongue, and your tongue is touching the back of your bottom teeth. It is a non-voiced sound, so the sound comes from the front of your mouth and not here in your throat. The key to making this correctly is getting your teeth on your bottom lip. And now some words to practice the f sound. Fay, fay, fee, fee. Remember, in English, we tend to hold our vowel sounds longer. Fight, fight, fit, fit, sniff, sniff, film, film, farm, farm, feet, feet, fate, fate, fumes, fumes, face, face, fright, fright, drift, drift, lift, lift, foe, foe, if, form, form, feel, feel, fair, fair. It has two different spellings in English and two different meanings, but they both sound the same. Fair. And again, the word after. Make sure you're saying the a in the beginning of the word, and ter at the end of the word does not have a vowel sound. It just sounds like t-er, t-er, ter, after, after. And the last sound for this lesson is v. It is the voiced version of the sound we just learned. Your mouth is in the same position, but the voice or the sound comes from the back of your throat, and we say v. To make the v sound, you bring your top teeth down and touch your bottom lip, as in the f sound. Your mouth should be positioned the same as in the f sound. Blow the air with more force through your bottom lip and teeth. Your bottom lip will vibrate slightly. The sound comes from the back of the throat rather than the front of the mouth. It is the voiced version of f. Your throat will also vibrate. V, v, v. You've got to get your teeth on your bottom lip, and as you make this sound, the back of your tongue is going to drop, and so the sound comes from your throat area and not the front of your mouth. V, v, v. This sound is the voiced version of the F sound. V, v. If you say the f represented with the letter F first, it sounds like this. V, v, v. Now for some words to practice the v sound. View, view. You can see in Voicetown, the capital U sound has the two sounds E and OO, so it can be written either way. View. Vial, vial. It's important to remember that you're not saying the W sound or OO, we are saying view and vial. Vote, vote. Veil, veil. Dive, dive. Vomit, vomit. Divide, divide. Fever, fever. When you have a V-E-R at the end of the word, you don't say the E sound or eh. You say the V and ver, ver. Fever, fever. Vast, vast. Vats, vats. Voom, voom. Five, five. Vital, vital. Vicar, vicar. Vivid, vivid. Vary, vary. When practicing the v sound in words, I'm going to point out some of the things that we've talked about in previous lessons. First of all, you want to make sure you take a look at the English spelling and the Voicetown spelling and see if you can figure out patterns to American English spelling to give you those sounds. For instance, IE in the word view sounds like E. IE sounds like E in the word view. And I've listed it spelled two different ways because the capital letter U has two sounds in it, E and oo, and you can write it either way. View. Then we have the word vial, vial. And a spelling rule here is that when you have an E at the end of the word, it will oftentimes change the vowel sound to the capital letter vowel sound. Vial, vial. Vote, vote. Again, the E changed the small o to the capital O sound. Vote. Veil, veil. The same rule applies here. Dive, dive. Vomit, vomit. Divide, divide. Fever, fever. Notice the different accents on the first and second syllable. When a syllable is accented, your voice goes up a little and also you say it a little louder. Fever. The V-E-R at the end of the word is written as v-er. We do not say a vowel sound in that syllable, so it's just ver, as in fever, fever. Vast, vast. Vats, vats. Voom, voom. Five, five. Vital, vital. Vicar, vicar. Again, K-E-R with the E-R at the end of the word, we don't have a vowel sound there. It's just k-er, cur, vicar. Vivid, vivid. Vary, vary. As we practice these sentences, I will give you a chance to see if you can figure out the sound in the sentence before I write the English spelling of the sentence. How is your dinner? How is your dinner? Here is my new car. Here is my new car. I will invite you to my party. I will invite you to my party. You can see how important it is that you memorize the symbols and the sounds, especially when you get into the later lessons on professional vocabularies and life in America. You are so practical. You are so practical. You are so practical. Laugh while you can. Laugh while you can. Leaves will turn in October. Leaves will turn in October. And the last sentences are, her ticket is for Amtrak. Her ticket is for Amtrak. We will fight for our victory. We will fight for our victory. I hope I live to be old. I hope I live to be old. Now, before you start the next lesson, there are a few things that I would like you to do. Practice, practice, practice. Review the map and practice the words. It will really help you in your pronunciation and listening skills. Remember, some of these sounds may be new to you and you need to teach your brain and mouth muscles to make these new sounds. Listen carefully as others speak English, whether it is in person or on the television or computer. See if you can recognize the sounds that you have learned. You should be improving your pronunciation and listening skills. Try using the sounds and words you've learned in your daily language. Force yourself to speak up and ask questions if you're unsure about a word. Most people will be very willing to help. Try using the sounds and words you've learned in your daily language. Force yourself to speak up and ask questions if you're unsure about a word. Most people will be very willing to help. And work to make the sounds correctly and automatically. And the only way you can do that really is by practicing and working it into your everyday language. I hope you will do these things before you go on to Lesson 5.